For many in rural and agricultural communities, limited access to technology and education can hold back career growth. Today, we're exploring how a new report offers solutions to help these workers break through these barriers and enjoy the fruits of their labor. Let's welcome Raghu Krishna, Chief Operating Officer for the University of Phoenix. Hello, Raghu. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on your show.
Yeah, happy to have you on. So, can you start by telling us what the greatest challenges are to the workforce in rural communities?
So our G.R.O.W report showed that around 70% of workers in rural America have a great deal of optimism about their future, their career, which was fantastic to hear. However, it highlighted an issue, particularly among the younger rural workers who are feeling considerably less satisfied in their current job, much of which is stemming from concerns about limited employment opportunities and career growth in the neighborhoods that they live in today and the communities they live in today. So as a result, more than half of them are considering leaving their communities to be able to grow and advance in their career. So unless we can help them, find new opportunities and grow and be able to stay in their communities, rural America could be losing many of its critical community members and especially its younger future generations.
And Raghu, you touched on this a little bit, but can you explain what the G.R.O.W study is specifically and more of the findings that came from it?
That's the G.R.O.W study. The acronym stands for Generating Rural Opportunities in the Workforce. It's a study that we did with the Center on Rural Innovation to identify ways we could help those individuals in the rural communities be able to grow and advance in their careers. Some of the findings, as we found, as some of the ones I mentioned. On top of that, we also showed solutions that we could put in place to help them meet their needs in their local communities. Like, for example, we've seen how technology has significantly changed the American workforce across the board, rural and urban and everywhere. Not only did it help in many ways create greater flexibility for people to work from anywhere, but it also highlighted the need to constantly evolve your skills to keep current. And what we found is that rural America, the workers there and over vastly felt that we could provide educational opportunities, they'll be able to stay and grow in their communities. And they felt that if we could build partnerships between employers and educational institutions, they could actually turn the tide and feel like they could stay in their communities for the long run and also grow in their careers.
How else do these findings relate to the current work landscape?
Absolutely. It relates to exactly what they're facing in right now. We've seen over the past several years more people moving to rural areas because they love to live in those environments where it's more open space and then they can be with their families and their friends. So this evolves right now. And we were seeing that the solutions that work, these partnerships that are being put up between educational institutions, employers, and groups like the Center on Rural Innovation, working together, they're bringing those areas that we already see work in urban environments and bring it to rural communities. A few examples I could give you is, clearly we know that access to broadband is a critical need for jobs of the future. It's already happening. It's getting better. We can do more working in partnership with all these groups to increase the access to broadband. We can also foster entrepreneurship. We found that over 50% of rural workers had indicated a strong interest in owning their own business. So we can help them build the skills to be successful as entrepreneurs. We can also, as we always do, connect students and workers with the right learning pathways and career advancement pathways and skills development programs to help them grow. But on top of that, we could build mentorship and networking opportunities so individuals can build that critical social capital to allow them to continue to advance continuously in their careers. So I'm really bullish that if we work together in partnership with these other groups, we can reduce the barriers associated with geography.
What else can organizations and institutions do to best break down barriers faced by the rural workforce?
Partnerships are always a great way to make it happen. No, I strongly feel that no one group by themselves can go and make that occur. These things like these mentorship programs and networking, we know that beyond just simply learning about the skills, you have to be able to put them in practice. And oftentimes you need support to help be able to do that. And so these type of programs out there that provide mentorship between the companies and educational institutions can help them go advance in their careers.
All helpful tips, Raghu. Thanks for joining us today. And to our viewers, you can find out more at phoenix.edu/career-institute.